What if I told you that you could potentially be getting millions of views without filming more content, without sitting down, filming short form content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and you just didn't have to spend any extra time on it, but you could potentially be sitting on a landmine and you could get more organic growth, get more customers for your business, and overall grow your personal brand on socials. And so that's exactly what I'm going to be showing in this video right here. And so in the first place, the problem with someone in your situation might be that you don't have the time for content creation. You might not want to sit down and film all this content. You need the consistent presence, and you know that. And at the same time, you want the organic growth. You want the leverage that comes from being on social media. But you're overall just overwhelmed by the platforms, by the consistency, by just needing to film it all the time. And so there might be a solution for you, depending on what circumstances you're exactly in. And that's what we're going to be going through in this 4 to 5 minute video right here. And so the solution overall, to jump straight into it though, is strategic content leverage. That's what I call it. And so this really comes down to something called the long form gold mine. And so what this is using existing long form content that has multiple potentially untapped viral moments, posting this on multiple different platforms, and it's going to cost you zero additional time investment. And so I'm going to show you what we did with a client of ours, which was My Next Move podcast, where we had multiple of these long form conversations and sit downs that we just really weren't using for content other than just having the podcast. And so before the strategy, we were limited to mostly audio listeners on Spotify. Minimal social presence because of that, because a lot of people aren't going to the podcast. There's not thousands and millions of people unless you have a really, really huge podcast. And so overall, it was a lot of untapped content potential because there is so much content within these videos and so much time being spent, but it just wasn't being used and distributed in the right way quite yet. And so overall, hours of valuable insights that were buried throughout this podcast. And so after implementation, after using this social media strategy, we were able to get over 1.3 million views on one single clip, gain thousands of new followers from that, have multiple viral moments, expand the reach on socials, and obviously that turns into increased business opportunities. And so the reason why this works in the first place is that it's something called the leverage effect. And so what this looks like for someone in your situation that has content already, you have this long form footage, whether that be, events. Let's say you're speaking at events, and let's say you have hours of this event footage. Let's say that you film YouTube videos every now and then. You have like 20 to 30 minute YouTube videos where you're deep diving into a topic, or let's say you already have like a course out there. Like you have a 20-minute course with all these insights and all this valuable content that could be used to reach more people, but you're just not quite yet. So you have the 1 hour or so of recording. That can equal weeks to months of content if you do it the right way and if you implement a strategy like this, like we did for our client right here. And so the reason why this works is also because a single insight can go to multiple platforms and have the omnipresence to reach multiple people. And at the end of the day, it doesn't cost you any extra time to get the maximum reach. And so what the implementation steps look like from here, let's say that you were to do this yourself, what this would consist of is, learning the editing skills to turn this into short form content, create the different format templates and decide, what's going to look different for what different platforms, build the distribution systems, when are you going to post, how are you going to post, who's going to post is going to be you, someone on your team, and then just execute consistently to get that, compounding effect of short form content on social media. Option number 2, which would cost you really zero extra time here, would be to delegate to a team that handles all this for you, focus on your strengths, focus on filming those videos, sharing those insights in the longer format videos, scale faster, and overall cost you, zero extra time investment into it. And so how this fits into your overall strategy though, like when it comes to social media, like what exactly does this do for your brand? How does this really benefit you? It's pretty simple terms here, but content creates awareness builds trust generates leads, and leads become revenue for the business. And so the action steps from here, depending on what exactly your circumstances are, let's say that you're a podcast host. In that situation, the best thing to do from here would be to audit your existing episodes, look at the content that you already have, identify what those clip-worthy moments are, what the best snippets are to post, create the repurposing strategy, figure out who's going to post it, all the nitty-gritty details, and then implement that for yourself and tackle that and spend your own time on it, or delegate to people that know exactly how to do it. And then for business owners, let's say you don't have a podcast, but you have long form footage, or you can make long form footage, and you'd rather spend an hour making long form footage that can go to Spotify, or can go to let's say YouTube, or they can go these various long form platforms. The first step would be making that. So start with that simple content creation. Focus on valuable insights, make sure you have good pillars of content, make sure, the touch points are actually good and they're going to work. And then build your repurposing system once again, and then scale strategically from there. And so your next steps from here, if you are someone that's like I want to implement this right away. So what you can do if you want this to benefit your business is you can book a call right below in the description, where I'll leave a link to speak directly with me, where I can basically give you a custom roadmap of what this would look like if you do happen to be someone in the position to benefit, from a move like this in your personal brand and in your business. But to wrap up the video, I'll leave you with this. Stop creating more content and start leveraging what you already have. See you guys in the next one.